So
This performance, this concert, it's in a way a farewell for you to
yeah.
Vancouver. Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of, it was coincidental. I mean, it was, the Cult booked us in to play this show like a year and a half ago.
The Vancouver Cultural Centre.
Yeah, the Vancouver East Side Cultural Centre.
Okay.
So they booked us to play the show quite a while ago, but and at that time I didn't know that I would be moving back to Yellowknife, although I suspected I would move back there sooner or later. Just things have sort of come together where it's now that I want to move. So, so I sort of, you know, when I realized it was around the time that I wanted to leave, I thought, oh, it could be my farewell show and everybody can come out and, you know, have a good time.
Yeah.
Listen to some music.
How has your time here been in Vancouver? Have you grown as an artist? How has it been for you?
It's been amazing. I am a completely different artist than I was 5 years ago. And I mean that in the sense that I'm not a different person from who I was, but I've just grown into myself so much. And maybe it's the time in my life. You know, I was 29 when I moved here, and you know, since then I've moved into my 30s and just matured as a person as well as an artist. And I'm very much more clear about what I want to say with my music, and my voice has matured and grown, and my guitar playing has gotten better, and
Yeah.
you know, all of these things have sort of come together at this time in this beautiful place. But also I've met the people that I like. Meeting Jason when I first moved here was huge for me as an artist, because I've played with a lot of guitar players and a lot of fantastic guitar players that I've gelled with, that I've really liked, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody that I've have such incredible chemistry with, and just he's like my brother, you know, and we have such a great time together on stage but off stage as well, you know, and so meeting him and meeting Okalani and playing with the people that I've played with over the last 5 years, some different players than you saw on the show, but you know, they've all been really, really important to me, and because before, I think I was trying to find my sound, and I didn't quite hit it before this time in Vancouver, and I've hit that now. You know, I've hit my stride as an artist, and
Right on.
I'm just coming into that more. So.
Yeah, and I guess that's part of maturing as an artist in terms of getting to know the sound, your sound, what you want to do with that.
Yeah, and I, you know, in another life, maybe I would have liked to be like Bon Jovi or something, but that's not the direction that my songwriting took, and it's not who I am as a person, so it's not really where I went. Even though some days, you know, I wish that I was like an opera star, or I wish that I was a huge like rock star.
You are an opera star.
No, I'm like a roots folk star.
Yeah.
But this path that I've chosen, it's sort of one that's open before me, and before I kind of dove off of that board, that diving board, and into the river and went with the flow, you know, I think I was sort of trying to contrive what it was that I was going to do with my voice and with my songs. But you know, it's been 7 years that I've been a full-time artist, and ever since I released my first full-length CD, I've been really truly trying to take a cue from what's in my heart, and so walking my heart path. And I talk a lot about this when I do empowerment workshops and stuff like that, about knowing what your heart path is. And so I think in a way my path has chosen me, and you know, I sometimes struggle to stay true to that, but for the most part it's been fairly easy to tell what's the right thing for me and what's not. So
Boy, that's a huge step to take, and I think an important one, not just as artists but as human beings.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's taken me quite a while to come to that. Like my 20s was spent, you know, really trying to find that, because I graduated when I was 22 actually, and I moved to Toronto, and I spent 5 years in Toronto, I guess laying the groundwork for that jumping off point. But it was hard work, and you know, it's like money is always an issue in the music industry, and there were times I was really broke, and the only thing keeping me on the music path was the music itself, you know. So.
Now you've got a new album coming up, and one of the tunes on that is "Listen, Sister."
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that tune?
That song, you know, I know a lot of powerful women, and I guess that song is just like a really positive uh, kind of rallying cry or something for all of those sisters that I know that are, you know, really strong and sometimes feel like they aren't that strong. But and I mean, I guess that's sometimes the way I feel myself. Like, you know, I really sometimes I'm a symbol for women, and that is an honor, and you know, something that I really embrace. You know, I'm a very independent person. You know, I run my own business. Like, it's, you know, I've done all these things. At times I feel like, oh, what am I doing with my life? So when I wrote that song, I was actually in Banff, and I thought, you know, this is a good thing to say. Like, this doesn't always get said in a really positive, upbeat way. Like, yeah, we're strong, and that's cool. You know? And it's not, you know, I rely on the men in my life just as much as I do on the women, but you know, I just felt the need to say that.
Right on.
To my sisters out there.
Yeah.
I rely on the men in my life just as much as I do on the women in my life, but I just felt the need to say that. Like, I have a really strong mother and really strong sister and sister-in-law and cousins and aunties and, you know, and friends, like people who are friends that are sisters too.
It
you know?
shows.
Yeah,
it
it's
shows.
great.
Right on, right on.
So.
One tune that the band really kicked in on was Rise and Shine. Where'd that one come from?
That song, I think I mentioned in the introduction. It's just, I have this plant, like I have a plant, actually Oaklani gave it to me. It's an aloe, and it's just, she gave it to me when I moved into this house that I'm in, that I've spent the last 3 years in. And I'm away for long periods of time, and my roommate does water it, but sometimes, you know, it needs a little more water, or I'm gone for too long, and you know, so it's hanging on, and actually now it's thriving. It's funny.
Great.
Like,
you've been around.
It's like gorgeous and huge. Anyway, and one day I was looking at it and I thought, oh, it's reaching for the sunshine, even though it's like starving to death. It's so thirsty, and I thought, oh, that's the kind of spirit that I need to have. So I wrote an anthem for the people that feel down, and it was a really rough winter. That winter for me, I just went through a lot, and I thought, it's the spring is going to come, and this plant is going to, you know, rise and shine every day, no matter whether I'm there or not.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, right on. Spirit of growth, eh?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
rise
right on.
Shine.
Well, it's been a real pleasure
to
talk with you. Yeah,
it's great to see you.
And experience your music here in Vancouver.
Message
yeah, on the mix.